Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 5th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning fairly early, got the dogs out. I woke up unfortunately earlier than I wanted to. I had plans to go meet my wife's son to move his stuff to her work to get it like palletized up and all that kind of thing, but I wasn't meeting him till like 8, so I'm up at like 6:30, and I'm like, God, it'd be so much easier if I could just go right now and meeting there at like 7 and be an hour early in the whole before the heat gets here kind of thing. So, but instead I hung around the house, chilled out there a little while, kind of just waited around, got the dogs all fed, got that all taken care of, and then I basically headed up to meet him. Basically hopped in the truck, headed up, got the first load of stuff that was being, I guess, shipped, mailed, trucked, whatever you want to call it, out to South Dakota for him, and he had it all in the garage at least, so that was a good thing. So went ahead and basically grabbed all that stuff. He got in the truck, he headed down, and the plan was he was going to get to the shop, we were going to get it palletized up, and him and my wife were going to get it like finished, wrapped up in plastic and whatever, with one of her coworkers going to help her, and then she was going to take him back home. So I was going to be done. I was like, cool, won't be that big a deal. It'll be all easy day. And I'll move on with the rest of my day and get some other stuff done. I was going to do some yard work and whatnot. And then turned out there was a bunch more stuff that I guess we're storing at our house kind of thing. So went ahead and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go back up and get that load. So I got there and got that load. And then found out there was like a corner cabinet I guess I'm supposed to be taking too, which doesn't fit in the truck because all of their stuff. So now I'm on my second trip with all the stuff. Found out there's a third trip to take as well, so I was like, okay, whatever. But went ahead and from there got back, and I didn't bring him with me this time because one, he's lazy as shit, but to the point like literally like all the stuff in the back bedroom or moving that were stored at our house, he hadn't even got it finished packing up. He's been planning on moving for like 2 or 3 months now, hasn't even got it all packed up, so he's packing up the last couple boxes of stuff, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm hauling everything out of the house and basically doing everything. He moved. I told at one point I was putting stuff in the truck and I said go get another load because I was talking to his stepmom, and basically headed out, and I went back there, and all he did was put 2 totes on all he did is he put 2 totes on the dolly, didn't even move the dolly, didn't know. So I got him like, you gotta be kidding me. And they start talking about other things, talking about changing a shower head out. I'm like, just move. So I moved, grabbed the dolly, and started taking everything myself and said to hell with it. So I was like, whatever. So I got it all loaded up and whatnot, and basically found out how to take a corner shelf, so I had to go back. I'm like, well, I'll get that later. I'm not really concerned about it. Got back to the house. My wife was still at work, wrapping up the pallet, and I texted her. I'm like, hey, does your dad know I'm bringing all that shit over? Because I was living at her dad's house, which is our house. He lives in it, sharing stuff and whatnot. And so, blah, blah, whatever. And no reply, so I sent another text. I'm like, hey, does he know I'm coming over? She's like, no, didn't get a reply. So I said, hell, it got there. He's like, what's going on? So I told him I'm putting the stuff in the back room, which she told him, but didn't tell him when it was going to happen. So got that stuff all unloaded, and then she came home, and she's like trying to help me. I'm like, you're just getting in my way. Please don't help me, kind of thing. So went ahead and got them out of the way, and then I had to go back up. And it turned out I was also bringing back a trike, like a full-size adult tricycle, like a big fat tire bike. So I'm bringing that thing back because apparently that's the way he rode back and forth when he worked at Walmart or something. I don't know why he'd ride a tricycle instead of a regular bicycle. It's so much more awkward to try and get around traffic and all that kind of stuff, but hey, whatever. So I had to go pick it up, and between the corner shelf, which I got in there, and then trying to put the bike in there, there's 3 guys that live in this house. Her son, the new boyfriend, and then the stepmom's dad. All 3 live there, and they all had like toolbox there, and he's digging through them. Nobody has Allen wrenches, so I couldn't take the handlebars down to make the bike fit underneath my topper. So I ended up saying the hell with it and left it hanging out the back and strapped it all down with some ratchet tie down straps like you use for motorcycles and stuff. So just left the bike hanging out the back of the truck. I didn't care. So as I was leaving, he handed me the receipt and goes, hey, my mom told me to give you this receipt because said she's gonna give me the money back for this bike. And I'm like, why are we buying a shitty bike that you overpaid for? You paid like $1,500 for this thing. That's not a really nice bike by any means. And also it has paddle locks on it, like the chains and stuff, like bike locks. And I asked him 3 times, do you have the keys for this? And he kept saying yes, but never gave them to me. So apparently I have chain locks and bar locks that are like strapped to the back basket, but no keys to them. So I have no idea. I just don't care. don't give a damn. So I got back home, my third trip, which I thought was my one trip, turned into 3 trips. So through the cabinet in the back bedroom, also the corner cabinet thing that was supposedly built by his dad's grandfather or great-grandfather, so I don't know who was supposedly built this thing. So stuck that back in the bedroom as well, and then put the bike in the garage and headed back over to the house. Kind of hung out with the dogs for a while again, played with them, and then went for my run, got my run in, all that good fun stuff. My cousin was coming down. She ended up with a Disney Vacation Club stay from a friend of hers that couldn't use, so she ended up using that timeshare type deal. So she came down, she finally landed. It took them like 2 hours to get a rental car. It was ridiculous single time. They finally got the rental car. They talked about coming over this way because we'd planned on going over to Orlando to go out, have like, you know, basically I only had the one dog plus my own, so I thought Mom could watch that pretty easily. And then she talked about possibly going out with us, going out to the club, maybe getting a little dancing or whatever and stuff, something we never do. And I was like, hey, it's up to you, but if you want to drive the kids over, drop the boys off, we can hang out here, or, you know, pizza, whatever and stuff. They can watch Netflix and chill out at the house. And they can play the pool if they want to, whatever, I don't care. But hang out here with the dogs, and then we can go out for the night, and then you can pick them up tomorrow morning if you want to drive back tonight. And she's like, that's not like a plan. So we were looking at doing that. We had another friend of ours from up in north of us, a ways was going to come down. We were all going to ride over together and go out and kind of hang out for the night, and it'll all be good. And I thought, well, depending on how much the friend drinks, she might have crashed in also at the house, because I stay sober virtually always, so I'll be the one doing the driving, so that issue won't be a problem. So, but we're all good. Didn't hear from the friend at all. Never heard from him at all. Cousin and her family decided they were pretty tired from the trip. They were pretty exhausted, so they decided they didn't want to come out, didn't want to come over. I said, I understand completely, not a big deal. So we were all good there. And so I was kind of like weird. So I went for my run. They were figuring out what they were doing for tomorrow for dinner and stuff. And then I got my shower. But before I got my shower, I'm like, I'm going to jump in the pool. So my wife came out. She got in the pool with me, which was nice because we hardly ever use the pool at the same time. So we basically floated around the pool a little bit, scooped up a bunch of leaves and whatnot. And then I decided to kind of put a tarp over it to make some kind of pool cover. So I had an old tarp that I bought. Actually, a brand new tarp I bought. Thought I had it laying out for a while. That I was going to use for a carport that I never did put on yet. I was just been too damn lazy to put it up there because it's really awkward. I really need help, but I haven't have a hard time asking people for help. So went ahead, hosed it all off. It had some leaves stuck on it and whatnot. So got it all hosed off and got it draped over top of the pool. And I got to go buy some kind of PVC pipe or something to put it on to roll it up to make it work, make it make sense. So got to figure that out. I'm not sure how I'm doing that yet, but it's at least covered for the most part. It's covered 90% because it hits the steps and doesn't cover where the steps are. So I got to figure out how to do it. I'm going to have to move my steps back to the end again, so it makes it easier. But with the skimmer in there, I don't like the skimmer on the side without the steps blocking it. So who knows? I'll make some changes. I'll make it work, but it just kind of is what it is there. So yeah, I went ahead, got that done, got out of the pool, and then it was time for dinner. And we were still in that weird, like, maybe around to Orlando and we go out for the night. And just, I was exhausted. I was tired. I'd moved a lot of crap around, and just, unfortunately, just when I deal with her family, it kind of takes a lot out of me mentally. So I was like, yeah, we'll call it a day. So said to hell with it. It was all good. We hung out for the evening, watched an episode of Friday Night Lights, and we were all good there. And then headed back out, had myself a wonderful cigar, and hung out with the dogs outside. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't hot out. I mean, it was hot out, but it wasn't like horrible. So it was a nice, cool evening, and chilled out. Finally headed to bed, and then I noticed when I put on my sound machine, I have a little noisemaker that sounds like crickets and like rainfalls, whatever and stuff, whatnot. And it had like a weird chirpy bird sound. I was like, that's kind of strange. I don't know how it got turned to that. I didn't think much about it. I head to bed. I could hear it just faintly off in the distance, and it sounded like, all my once in a while, it sounded like a puppy crying, like a dog whimpering type thing. And it must have gotten to my head because I woke up with like horrendous nightmares of losing a dog, and it was a whole mess. It was a whole thing, like a giant, terrifying nightmare. So I got one turn of the thing off. I'm like, nope, you're off the rest of the night until I get that figured out. I was too tired to figure out how to fix it, but I couldn't have it on anymore either. So that kind of cut into my sleep, but it is what it is. So that's all I got for right now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.